Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to an episode of CSGO News. And again, like I told you guys in yesterday's episode, we did have a huge week of CSGO updates coming soon for all of you. The first of which was that Chinese countdown I showed you guys a couple days ago. Now apparently that Chinese countdown was not the official release countdown for Chinese CSGO or CSGO in the Chinese region. Now what it actually was a countdown for was a Chinese presentation by Perfect World on what that update will actually bring to all of you. So as of right now, the official release date for CSGO in China will be April 18th. I'm going to be showing you guys the presentation slides translated into English for all of you who actually wonder. Those slides will be down below and linked for all of you guys who want to check that out. And they actually talked about all the updates that Chinese CSGO will bring. Now, the two big ones, I'll actually link down below 3 Clicks Phillips' video on Source 2 engines, which apparently is coming sometime soon to CSGO. Source 2 engines will affect the meta and the actual gameplay inside CSGO a little bit. So check that video out down below. 3 Click Phil actually goes into great detail. And actually back in 2015, he covered what Source 2 engines will actually change for the meta inside the game of CSGO. These Source 2 engines are also used in Perfect World in China. They actually operate the Dota servers as well in the Chinese mainland, and they've also used Source 2 engines with Dota as well. So they also introduced a UI panorama. I'm not really sure the full details on that. And on top of this, guys, we have China enveloping us so many new things in the CSGO scene. If you guys did not see on the slideshow, they're going to be introducing their own form of ESL Pro League called the CPL, the Chinese Pro League, which is going to be very cool to see. They've also introduced, though, and even more importantly, their own worldwide event, which should be coming soon in 2017. This worldwide event will actually include over 1,000 teams qualifying for this one event. We have more announcements of that coming sometime soon, and they also promised the next CSGO operation, which we kind of already knew, will come sometime during the summer. Now, we're not sure if that means this month late or next month early or what it means, but sometime during the summer, we are guaranteed the next CSGO operation. That was in huge Chinese CSGO news for all of you guys who are wondering about that. More updates coming soon for all of you. How this will influence our market, I'm not really sure. We'll keep you guys all posted. Now, on top of that, how it was kind of weird, the cases on their actual Chinese CSGO website, which I'll also link down below for all of you, none of the cases actually had gold items, knives, or gloves inside them, but it does seem there's actually a different page on their website which does include gloves and knives. So stay tuned, guys. Chinese CSGO is here. It's coming very soon, within the next week or so, and it should be launched officially April 18th. And also for all you North American Cloud9 fans out there, we have big news coming soon for that Cloud9 organization. Now, I've actually heard from several coaches, allegedly and actually anonymously as well. I can't actually tell you guys those names of those coaches, have reached out to me and said for the past several months, this Cloud9 organization and roster has been trying to break away from Jack Katine and that owner over there, as well as the organization itself, and they've been trying to move orgs. Now, who they're going to move to, we do not know as of right now. It's just speculation. It does seem that it's been prolonged for quite some time now, and they've actually been locked into some contracts with heavy buyouts, and so many organizations kind of fear those kind of buying outs, especially for an entire roster. So at this point in time, it's speculated, though, that Cloud9 does want to move away. This current roster they have does want to move away from their current organization. Now, on top of this, we actually had many of their members tweet out last night for ESL Pro League matches. It seems like not just last night, but as also throughout this week, we might have Skadoodle actually missing some Pro League matches for personal reasons. Their coach Valens will stand in for him. We also had through OpTic Tarek's stream, Stewie was in a call with him and actually leaked through his own stream about Counter-Strike Summit. That tournament's coming up on the 20th of April. Yeah, kind of ironic. It's on 420, but still, it's a $150,000 tournament. And Stewie actually said on Tarek's stream they're going to have a sub for that team. Now, whether he's subbing in for Nothing or Skadoodle obviously the more favored version here, but many people thinking Nothing or one of the players on Cloud9 will not be there. They will be using a sub for at least one of their 5 members at that tournament. So we're not really sure who that is, but here's the clip from Tarek's stream about CS Summit and how Cloud9 is going to use a sub for that tournament.
But you're going to Summit too, right?
Hell yeah.
And you're going to Austin?
So you know who we're playing with at Summit?
What do you mean playing with?
Never mind, I spoke too much.
You said way too much, dog. You need to hold your tongue. Dude, who just stabbed him?
Look at your scene, dog. Can they see it?
Oh hell no, that's who you're playing with?
And even more people taking this as an implication of what he meant as a play on words, who they're going to play with. They also thought maybe Cloud9's roster, who they're going to play with is not Cloud9 at CS Summit. So we'll see how that develops, guys. But yeah, anyway, quick before I show you guys any other clips, I do want to say as well, we also have potential for Swag to return to Cloud9. Now, why I say this, he's played in smaller tournaments in the past. Tournament organizers like CS Summit might just allow match fixers to come back. We know we had ESL bend the rules for the people like VAC banned, Kukli and Emilio, all those guys, SF, who had actually been VAC banned. They still did not bend to match fixers. HellRaisers, but still some small tournament organizers do allow match fixers to return, and so Cloud9 Swag could return. You know, he's on the current roster as a streamer and an analyst, but he could return to that starting roster and fill in for one of those members. Just so all of you guys know, it's actually a potential possibility, but going forward as well, back to the organizational change, also confirmed by JasonR, who's an OpTic trial member right now. He confirmed last night that they do want to look for a new organization. That's the Cloud9 current roster, whether it be one or many of the players. It is not a secret anymore, guys. Cloud9, their current roster, wants to leave the organization.
I know why C9, I know why, dude. They're looking for a new org. I know why. I'm not going to tell you guys why, but I know why.
And speaking of OpTic trial members and OpTic in general, they have a new trial member. Yet again, we have the long list of OpTic trial members, which I really can't argue with. It just kind of sounds funny nowadays. Whenever we have someone join the OpTic team, you kind of just infer they're going to be a trial member. We had Freakazoid, and of course, we now have current player JasonR, and now we actually have a newest one, will be a trial coach for the team. They tweet out this just this past week. It will be former IGL and captain for CLG. That'll be HaZed, joining the team as a temporary coach, but also coming up very soon is IEM Sydney, and it seems like JasonR had previous plans, and he'll be actually their fill-in IGL most likely, and definitely a player for the team. So look out for him. It will be HaZed as a fill-in player and a temporary trial member as their coach, but he'll be playing at IEM Sydney for the team. Now moving on from that as well, we also have HellRaisers, including Styko. Many of you guys know a few weeks ago, and Mouse Sports showed a strong interest in Styko. HellRaisers actually offered him a counter offer, which he accepted, and this is a part of that. All HellRaisers members, including their actual coach, have now been signed to the end of 2018. I just love these kind of stories because it's got to feel so good when you sit down and sign a contract and says, hey, you're going to have a CSGO, a Counter-Strike job until the end of 2018. So all current HR members who've been playing quite well lately have actually been signed until the end of 2018. Now moving on from this, we also another story from Fragbite. I'll link that article down below for all of you guys. If anyone's wondering how much NiP players are making, it's a pretty good sum of money. Actually, Fragbite and their owner, the CEO of NiP, I'm going to really butcher his name here. We have Hakam Shaheen, actually came out and said each and every NiP player makes on average anywhere from $170,000 to $230,000 a year. We can actually infer this includes Drake and their newest member as well. It's going to be cool to see how this actually affects the future of people coming out and actually sharing their contract information. But at this point in time, yeah, if you want to play Counter-Strike at the top tier, or I guess NiP is not really top tier anymore, but still $170,000 to $230,000. It'll be cool to see if any of those players come out and say, you know, hey, I'm making the most of the team. And thank you guys all for the reply in the comments. I loved a couple episodes ago where I actually did a comment topic where I asked you guys to comment down below your responses. I want to keep that up for every episode. I do not have one for this episode though, but I do also want to introduce a new segment where I call out every single CSGO pro player's birthday, at least, you know, the really well-known ones. So Pasza Biceps' birthday was yesterday. He had no tweets yesterday about it, but you saw a few pro players tweet at him like on screen right now. And so yeah, it was, you know, big old Biceps' birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, man. And lastly, in today's episode of CSGO News, we have more coming to Rogue. Actually, Rogue, we talked about their downfall a couple weeks ago when they lost Victor and Bubble. Now that third member, Glace, who's actually inactive on that Rogue roster for quite some time, he's been released from their contracts and actually left Team Rogue today to join North Academy. So North has now announced their new Academy team, and Glace will be on that roster as a part of, you know, they're going forward. They're going to be a young roster, and he'll be one of their older members, so it's going to be cool to see how Northern Academy does. Another Academy team coming to CSGO, and lastly, we actually clarified and verified this a couple days ago as well, but it's finally become 100% confirmed. Rops has joined the Mouse Sports roster in place of Spitty. Spitty tweeted out this today as well. So unfortunately, his time has come to leave Mouse Sports, and his replacement will be Rops, the Estonian player. So that's all we have for today's episode of CSGO News. I'll be touching up on all these small stories that I missed for today. I've been covering big stories these past few episodes, and especially today's episode. I'll be coming out with more CSGO News tomorrow and the day after that with all the smaller stories I did miss throughout this week. We have some great news coming tomorrow in the next few days, as well as a case opening coming soon. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please leave a comment down below or a like if you guys enjoyed the content. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I, like you, I'm going to go edit this video and eat some spaghetti. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Hope you guys all enjoy. Remember, I like you.